you a little bit about Bethlehem Bible College. Then I'll tell you about myself and what we do here. Bethlehem Bible College has been founded in the year 1979 by Dr. Bashar. It's a result of many Palestinian Christians that went to study in the state. Can you hear me in the back? Good, excellent. I don't like microphones. And they never came back. Probably steaks in Dallas, Texas were better than steaks here. So life in America and Europe is much better. So we were losing a lot of young men moving there into the state to study, never coming back. Another aspect of it is the students that went to study mainly in the state, they did not receive that training in order to deal with the challenges that we have here in our community. As you know, each culture, each situation has its own challenge. And the challenge for the Christian community and this land, especially from a Christian point of view, have not been met by training in the U.S. theological and biblical schools. So we needed leaders, we needed training to meet the need of the people here. And when at that time Charles Watt presented his idea to a group of leaders, one man gave him $20 and told him, well, look like you have the vision here, $20, started with it. And he started, and look what we have right now, all these facilities that God has blessed us. Bethlehem Bible College has a BA degree in biblical studies, and Christian education. We have languages schools here, English, German, Hebrew. Also, we have a tour guide program that goes through the Ministry of Tourism. We have also newly two programs, one MA in ministry and also media program in order to train people to bless the community, especially as mass media becoming a prominent aspect in Middle Eastern culture. We have around 150 students. The Bible College main campus is here at Bethlehem. We have one in Nazareth, and also we have a small branch in Gaza. Gaza, there is around 3,000 Christians. 3 churches are there, Greek Orthodox, Catholic, and Evangelical Baptist Church. So this is what Bethlehem Bible College as a college, as institution serve. Almost all faculties are right now Palestinian Christian. In the beginning, most of our faculty were people coming from Europe and the state, but through the years we have graduated. Others went to Trinity for theological seminaries, is where I went, and different high training institutions in the state and Europe. Well, the main reason why I'm here, been asked, is to speak about reconciliation between Israeli and Palestinian. But in order for you to understand why I'm involved in reconciliation, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Then I'll tell you how we are, our organization, promoting reconciliation between Israel and Palestine. First of all, I'm Palestinian Christian, and when we say Palestinian Christians, we're talking about the indigenous people that lived in this land through the centuries. Some of us are coming from Greek background, Aramaic background, Jewish background, including a lot of Palestinian villages around us here, especially there at Hebron. During the 7th year when I was studying at Tel Aviv University, we were visiting some of the villages that were still living in caves, but they were celebrating Hanukkah. Even though they were Muslim, they have the menorah and they were celebrating. When we asked them, why are you doing it? They said, well, this is where our ancestors used to do. So when we talk about Palestinian people, and I know some of your Republican candidates have alluded to the fact that they were Arabs that came from the neighboring country in the 19th century century here actually historically is not accurate, to say the least. I'm very happy he's not running to be the head of the Republican Party. So when you're talking about Palestinian community, you're talking about mix. We are a sellout of people here. Greek, Roman, Phoenician, Jewish, that through the century we went through stages of changes according to the dominant religion and culture that were here. And the most profound one that's happened here since the 7th century is the Arabization of the Middle East and Islamization of the Middle East. Christian used to be majority of the population of the land until the Crusades, and matter of fact, the decline of Christianity here was after the Mongols' invasion in the 13th century that caused devastation for the Christian in this land. So when I'm talking about Palestinian Christian, it is I have not been converted from Islamic background. We are in this land. Probably with some of my Jewish friends, I said if we do DNA check, probably I'll be more Kohen than many of the Kohanim in America. That is the reality, and that's the tragedy of the conflict. You know. So family lived in Lydda near the airport. Very proud to rebuild the church right now in the city of Lydda called St. George. You'll see him all around, the one on the horse killing the dragon. The family, we joke about the dragons, sometimes inside of us, sometimes outside, but mostly we talk about the fact that we are archaeological artifact as a family. So, because of time, I cannot go a lot about that. In 1948, the city of Lydda and Ramla been conquered by what we call the Plan D of the Israeli army during the War of 48. One of you would read history, I suggest to read for you a book that for Israeli Jews, Benny Morris, The Creation of the Palestinian Refugee Problem. He's a Jewish professor of history from Beersheba University. In Lyd and Ramla, twin cities, when the Israeli army conquered, they kicked the people out. There was a massacre in the city. And my father made a decision under the umbrella of the Red Cross to go and find refuge in the church that his grandfather built. So the 200 Christians that found refuge in the church and monastery of St. George were able to stay in the city, and they became refugees in their hometown. Matter of fact, my grandfather's house came to be the city hall of the city of Lydda. So the city of Lydda is very open wound scar in the relationship between the Israeli and the Palestinian. The city that was mostly all Palestinian Christian Muslim turned to be majority Jews, and very small community of Christians and Muslims. So when I grew up post-traumatic event of 1948, the Palestinian call it a Nakba. From a very well-to-do family, they have to rebuild themselves, and walking in the street, and my father used to share, this is the house where I grew up, this used to be our shop, this used to be our land. But more than anything else, for you from the state, it's very important to understand that there was a special fabric of Christian community in the land that has been shattered in 1948. Loss of life is horrible. Loss of land, it's something that people lose it all around the world in wars and homes. But we're talking about community that exists here for thousands of years, and this community doesn't exist anymore as it is. Christianity that embodied West and East. People that had Eastern Christianity, Western Christianity. So as a child, I went to school that were Christian, and school that most of the kids were Muslim. Then my parents made a decision to send me to a Jewish high school. At that time, at my hometown, there was no Christian high school.